Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, a little fun with camera. Yeah, behind the scenes going on. What's going on? What's going on? Morning, Lisa. How you doing? I think we're really great. I think we're doing good.
You are so funny. He's like jive today. I don't.
Jive. There's a term I haven't heard in a while.
You haven't even had coffee yet,
No coffee. No coffee.
and he's just like ding.
Ding, dingy, dingy, dingy. Whoop! Just like magic. Boom! I'm there.
That's awesome. I see. Is that Steve that said something?
Yeah, yeah.
What's it say?
It's right up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, members of the month club. Whoop, whoop. Wow. So
Yes.
we got to celebrate 100 weeks yesterday.
Yeah, 100 weeks. Well, good morning, all, and welcome to the morning show, formerly known as the Lisa Morning Show. No, I'm just kidding. It's the morning show.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's 100 weeks. It's amazing.
100 weeks of marriage. Is that something like our new normal?
No, well, I don't know. It's fleeting. It's gonna be. It's already gone. We're already on the 100 week plus one.
Well, isn't that what's interesting though? I mean, you said something about our new normal.
Our new normal. Yeah.
So-
Well, everything's opening up, right? So things are starting to open up. The restaurants, you can see people starting to flock back into the dining rooms here in Florida. The governor mentioned that sports are going to be reopening and encouraging people to come on down. There are shopping. Publix, announces, see you later, special reserved hours. We're back to regular hours. So, shop 7 to 9. Other stores are going to follow, I'm sure. And, suddenly things are going to be kind of thrown back into, well, I don't know about you. If you want into the grocery store, I don't think there's very many people wearing a mask. As soon as that order came back, things start opening up, off with masks. Although there were still a number of people, but I was surprised at how fast we were willing to throw the mask off, even though there's still good. Not to joke about it, but there's a lot of people that have passed away from this and from other diseases during this time that weren't able to be attended to in the same manner that they might have been.
We still have 700 people in our county alone that are sick. So, it's just kind of one of those, pray for them and wish everyone the best. But it makes me wonder, what is the great pause? We had this time that we've been kind of
cooped up. Yeah.
Cooped up. Yeah. It's definitely felt like cooped up. What have we learned from it?
Yeah. So I'm just stumbling for trying to say into this, the great pause. It was supposed to give us, nature was giving us a moment to say, hey, what's important in our life?
And did we take it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. Did we actually take it? Or did we get so bent out of shape because we couldn't do what we were used to doing?
Well, so there's a point, right? There's a point of, what are we doing with this moment? Who cares what happened the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks? In essence, what matters is right now. What are we going to do with it right now? And I was listening to a couple of things along the way this past week. Some mentoring that I'm doing, some looking in, investigating. Here's the question that I'm working with: what does 12 months out look from now? What outstanding things happen in the next 12 months that are not even, like, that are aware? I'm not even aware of those, but what will I look at in 12 months from now?
It's interesting as we look at that 12 months forward, it kind of causes us to take a look at the 12 months backward, right? And say, hey, this is where I was a year ago. Did I actually meet the goals, make the goals? Did I surpass the goals? Did I fall short on the goals? What do I want to see different as I move forward from this place? How do I make the changes in order to get the success that I want?
Yeah, absolutely. So pause to look back, but we should always be doing that. And that's one of the things I think we're good at thinking about. What are we doing, and how are we going to plan? What are the things that popped up along the way that we weren't
Mm,
in plan for? Like this
yeah.
past week, I was coming back from the bank,
Oh,
and there was some debris in the middle of the road that I didn't see because everybody on the left turn lane here was like going 2 miles an hour. Not because of the debris. There was one piece of debris. Okay, so one giant part that was sticking in the road, but it wasn't because it was slowing the traffic down. They were just slow off the light. So because of that, I didn't have enough warning as I ran across this piece that I thought I was going to miss anyways. I saw it for about a second. Ah! And sure enough, within a mile, I was already down 6 pounds of air and going, oh, I think I better take this to the tire shop. Luckily, our tire shop is right there. So I made a U-turn because I did go past it. And I'm going, I better get back there. So I did get back there. And then I had to walk home because they couldn't handle it right away. Wow. Talk about walking in Florida in the middle of the day. Wow, that's hot. I was just like drenched by the time I came back here for a mile and a half that I walked in the sun. You can't even tell that I had a sunburn, from that.
you did?
Yeah, I did. It was like instant red.
Well, I didn't notice. You just looked warm from walking.
Oh,
But I did try to offer you a ride, but you didn't.
well, by the time I looked at my phone again, I was almost there. But that's the point that wasn't a point that I wasn't thinking about that's going to happen. And so, what does it mean? What we're so caught up before this whole thing happened. I was just listening to one of our couple of our mentors. They're working on a program for tomorrow, and they had one of the speakers come in live to talk with them, and they were saying that before he was like running around. He was this is a pastor of a church. He was involved in making sure that the ministry was working, the church was working, people were at the church getting the services they need, plus the other engagements, talking, writing, whatever video, some. I know he's been doing some videos for the group as well along the way, and there's all these things that were going on, and not too long before that, I think it may have been a year before that, a year ago from now, his daughter came down with a serious disease,
Mm-hmm.
and she was all swollen up. I mean, she couldn't even close her eyes. They had to close her eyes with tape for her to sleep. Uh, and he was mentioning about how he wasn't there for her all the time. He had
It's
the
really hard
church, he
for
had the
him.
ministry,
Mm-hmm.
he had all these, as he put down, what all these entanglements, all these things in his life that pulled him away from the things that he was thinking about, the things that he held dear. We talk about the primary love relationships as one of the dimensions in our lives. So, what is the one thing that we're missing in our life? Well, before we really didn't know, right? We were away looking at one of these. I got to go here, go there, take the kids here, take the kids there. Got to go do this. Got to go to this organization. Got to meet here. Got and
Well,
and it's
even now, I found myself feeling kind of like that. Even though I'm home,
yeah,
I
yes,
feel like the weeks are going fast. One kind of blends right into the next, and it's one Zoom meeting, another Zoom meeting, another one.
yes,
It still kind of feels like that, and I think it's easy actually because now it's just a flip of the button. You
yes.
don't have to plan any travel time. You can just like. Sometimes my clients are coming in so fast. I told Joe, I'm like, I have to like literally plan a bathroom break, just because it's so easy to just schedule people boom, 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 boom. And if one goes just a tiny bit long and another one goes,
Mhm.
they just kind of end up
Well,
interweaving
you can
almost.
fill up your day with Zoom meetings,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not much different. Before you had to go to places, right? Now it's much easier to just have these things pop up. In fact, we've had some. we were in Toastmasters. We have friends that are still in Toastmasters, so we get their notifications. Hey, we're going to have our club meetings live in whatever time, and we could easily pop in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I know some people that are doing that. Of our
Mhm.
friends, they're attending a meeting in Alaska. They're attending a meeting in Philadelphia. They're meeting in uh, Australia.
Which is super cool. Super cool. And I love that we can do that. We can schedule all that out. And at the same time, it boils down to what you're saying. What is really important? It's, are you scheduling time for your family, for example? Are you spending time to take care of yourself so that you can pour into other people?
Yeah. So I'm hearing, these things that are trends. We're talking with people that we work with, and it's like, where's the pause? And this is a thing that has continued up to this point. Is, what are you stopping and doing? What are you stopping from doing? What are the things that are blocking you from taking pause or redefining the path forward? Is it, we're so worried about getting back to the normal? Well, the normal really wasn't working for us,
Yeah. Yeah. We
right?
like to think it was.
Yeah. Well, oh, we were a success. We could, we were working. We were, getting a paycheck, whatever.
But it was our comfort zone.
Was a comfort. We're in a comfort. This is an opportunity to reset.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was, oh sure, of course, I grabbed the wrong book. Yep, this is the wrong book. Oh, I was all set up with some great wisdom for. Okay, well, I have to get the other book.
Is it on the shelf there?
Yeah, it's right there, top shelf.
This shelf?
Yeah. The magic, Lisa disappears.
Is that the one?
No, it's the other one. So anyways, and we're so intent on who do we not want to disappoint. Well, the point was made. I want to change this up, and I want to disappoint the right people. I don't want to disappoint the wrong people, to disappoint them wrongly, to disappoint the people that are closest, the people that we value the relationships, they value us, and to say, sorry, I have to disappoint you because I got to go to this meeting. So where is it in your life? Look at your entanglements. Look at the engagements that you have, and figure out. Just take 3 minutes. What are you doing right now? What does your calendar look like? And are you putting the proper amount of time of your priorities with the people that you hold dearest, or the people that mean the most to get what you want? And we talk about going towards the vision, going towards a dream, desire. I hope the people that are closest to you are part of that dream, part of that desire, that you want to invest in them. They want to invest in you. They appreciate the time. We talked about how, kids just love to have your quantity time, which is in essence quality time to them, but quality time to us is, do we care enough about each other and what's going on? Are we stepping away?
And that's one of the things that I value most about our relationship, because we do get to work on that dream together.
Yes.
It's a pretty unique situation, I think. But I think
100 weeks doesn't
well,
just
it's a
come
whole lot more than 100 weeks.
Well, I know, but from that point forward, just a time point, right? A time point forward, you can look at and say, have we invested in it? Have we grown together?
Absolutely. But it's fun too to bring
Just kidding.
It's fun to bring other people along, that are family members too, because when you feel that familial support,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Then it's kind of a joy in the journey. I mean, it's joyous to have friends and coworkers too, but when you include your family in that, and you're just like all on the same page,
yeah,
I find that inspiring.
Yeah. So see, here's notes that I have, just in case. No, but so look at this. Are you making your primary relationships your primary customers? So if you want to talk it in a business sense, which I talk with with a lot of people that are in business that are, in management levels. Are you making, where's your primary relationships? Are they your primary customers? Are the ones that are most important? And I think it comes down to this quote by someone. There's many people that have said it, so we don't know who to give credit to. But are you pouring into them? Are you, let's see, are you a priority in other people's lives? Are you making yourself a priority in other people's lives who see you as an option in their lives? So,
Well, that's a mindful, isn't it?
yeah. So, are you pouring into somebody's life who's just saying, "Oh, whatever, great. Oh, you're really special to me," and then the next minute they're out the door,
Action doesn't match the word.
Yeah. Are you just an option in their lives, and you're thinking that you're pouring into them? We've had family members, we've had, no, long, long arm relationships, right? Because cousins and such that oh, very important. I want to see you. I need to see you, and you get there. It's not only family, but friends, more friends than family. But oh, I want to see you when you come back into town. Make sure you connect, and then you make the effort to connect, and you say, "Well, sorry, I'm busy."
Yeah,
I'm not around. Yeah. Well, no, but it's like they know you're coming. They've talked to you all along, and then say, "Sorry, we're busy." Yeah. Whatever. But so Brendon Burchard, another person that we kind of follow, we've read the Motivation Manifesto, great book.
I love the Motivation Manifesto. Yeah. It provided a bunch of insight for me, especially the first half of the book. We also have his high performance habits.
Yes.
Which, it's really a lot of what I talk about. Really.
Yeah. He's relating a story of for a time period he was a college instructor. He was helping out during his grad days, teaching a class, and it was about getting up there and speaking. And so he's got this whole class, and they're going through every class. A couple people will get up and be prepared to speak. And part of it is we don't celebrate. So we don't celebrate success. We go, okay, and move on. We don't really invest ourselves into that person because they're standing up there. They're doing effort. They're not there for their own benefit. Well, they are in a way, but they're engaging us. They're supposed to, we're supposed to pay attention to that. So he would make everybody stand up and give a standing ovation. For every speaker, a standing ovation to really just pour out for a few minutes some praise on that person for getting up there. And well, anyways, at the beginning of the term, he had a person come up to him, and he really didn't want to work with her because, it's like, oh, I got to do stuff beyond. These people in this class are doing it on their own. Mm-hmm. But they're supposed to see him if they have some questions or whatever. But she really was timid. She's shrinking in her seat. She comes in barely, speaking to him. This is a 19-year-old girl and a woman, 19-year-old woman. And she's been through a lot. And she says, I need you to help me. Because if I don't do it right now, and he's trying to talk her out, and he says, you got to read these books. You got to read this stack of books. You're going to be here for every day. We're going to practice for 2 hours. Come to my office. We're going to practice. You got to be prepared. If you're not doing that, we're done. And she says, okay, I'll do it. He said, crap. Why didn't I say 30 minutes? No, new instructor. 2 hours. What? Well, every day she was there for 2 hours and they're practicing, and she's got no confidence in her speaking. She's stumbling. She can't figure out what she wants to say, even though she's prepared. So they're practicing, and he's trying to lift her. And she's struggling. Well, he says, okay, I'm going to put you down for the last day. You're the last speaker, the last class for the term. She said, okay, all right. He's going, she's never going to make it. She's never going to get there. And it gets to that last day, you know, so everybody's going around, and she's not in the class when the class starts. And he's looking around, and he's paying attention, but he's not really paying attention to you know, there's two other speakers, I believe. And so the first one goes through, and he's trying to take some notes, or, you know, to, you know, evaluate like he's supposed to be doing. But he's still looking around for her. She's not there. The second speaker goes, and and they see he's distracted, but he's still in it, right? So then, as just the last person is finishing, there's a door creak, and he's going. She comes in. The speaker, the student is finishing up, and everybody's getting up to clap, but they're looking at her because she's coming in, but she's shrinking in, you know, coming a little quiet, trying to get to her seat, and they're all watching. What's going on? It's like she hasn't talked all term long, so they're like, "What is she doing? What's going on?" So Brendon gets up there to introduce her. She goes up, and she's just like, all on it, blah 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 blah. And he's explaining that it almost became a rhythm of its own, because she's just like, and it's like, boom, 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 boom. He's saying it's like an African chant or African drum, you know. And it's like, and then she freezes. She forgot, because this was part of her problem. She couldn't remember what she wanted to say, so she's just like, and slowly a couple other people in the group said, "You can do this. Come on, you can do this. We know you can do it. You can do it." And then her mic's still on, because he's got them mic'd, and they like me. They think I can do this. I know I can do this. I can do this. You can do this. Get up. Come on. You can do this. And she's talking to herself, and everybody can hear what she's saying to herself. She's saying it real quietly, but it's still picking up because of the mic. And she goes, she finishes her speech and stands there. Nobody gets up. Nobody's saying anything. She goes back to her seat. And then they're all mesmerized. He said, we must have been all like caught into the chant, into the rhythm, that we're just like mesmerized. And then suddenly, wait a minute. And they all get up, and then they're clapping. And, you know, she's like freaked out, because everybody clapped for everybody all term long. And she must have done bad. And they all clap. And that was the most thunderous clapping that they ever did for anyone else in that term, because, you know. And then everybody left. She left, and he said, I never thanked her. I never went up and said, wow, you did it, you know. Never poured into her. And he's gone, and he felt so bad. But a few minutes later, and she came back. And he was able to talk to her and you know, thank her properly, and you know, probably apologize for just kind of standing there. And, you know, we're just mesmerized by this wonderful performance from a person who did not have a voice. She said, I don't have a voice. Here's my life. Here's what's happened to now. And I've got to talk about it. I got to let it out. But up to that point, no one told her that she had a voice. So she was applauding him for pouring into that moment. And when you come to the edge of all the light you know, and you're about to step into the darkness of the unknown, this is for you. This is for all of you. Faith is knowing one of two things will happen for you if you're not feeling this. So when you come to the edge of all the things, all the light in your life, that of what you know. You're stepping into the darkness of the uncertainty of the moment beyond this. Faith is knowing one of two things will happen for you. There's something solid to stand on. You're going to stand on something. You're going to have a platform. You're going to have some kind of support, or you'll be taught to fly. And I love that. I love the fact that this idea of there's two things that faith will give you: something solid if you need it, and if you need to soar, you'll be taught to soar.
It's such, I'm sitting here thinking about all of the incredible life lessons that are in that story.
Yes.
Because for me, she's so relatable because I was that person.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a voice. I didn't believe in myself. I wasn't worthy of really anything in my mind, right?
Yeah.
So,
but you had good parents and a
I
good
had
family situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the mindset of it all, and we're a product really of the environment that we're placed in. And it's interesting for me to look back and see, what I latched onto wasn't always that positive, the good family and the support that they gave me. It was the outside, and I let that outside affect my belief system.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I decided for myself that I was going to make a difference, right? I didn't, it wasn't like boom. There have been times where I said, yeah, I'm going to do this, but it was learning that I could make decisions for myself. I could be enjoyed and appreciated by people, but it doesn't have to be everybody. But excuse me. The thing is, people want to root for our success. We just have to choose to take the step in that forward direction. So as we make that choice, then we choose who we're surrounding ourselves by. We're able to see the opportunities that are around us and that we really are fully resourced. It's just that sometimes we have to go outside ourselves. And that's part of, like you said, bringing others along on our journey in order to move forward.
Well, and it's important. We're called, each one of us are called to, or each is called to, to pour into people, to be there for a person, to recognize their cry for help. And Thoreau said something to the effect of the mass of men live lives of silent desperation, of quiet desperation. Well, not really. And Brendon pulled this out, and I agree. I've heard this quote before, and I didn't really think about it in this way. They're actually crying out for help. Mm-hmm. There's a mass crying out for help. Are we listening? And it's incumbent upon us. So as he did, he finally, let down his barriers. He didn't really want to coach her. He didn't want to spend all this extra time. But in the end, he realized, yes, he's going to be there. He will do his part. She's got to show up. Mm-hmm. He's still kind of putting the boundaries about, getting her the discipline to be there, and he would pour into her. He would give her all he can do. But the mass of men are not living quietly. The mass of people are not living quietly. They may have this image. We talked about image in a previous Friday morning show of what are we putting across? What's the inside look like? What's the outside look like? Are they aligned? Are they congruent with the purpose, with why we're here? But it's a mass calling for help, for something more meaningful, for tapping into the potential to live at that level of something more.
Well, I think
and
a lot of, sorry.
It's a thunderous cry. I love this. He says, it's a thunderous cry for help, and you are going to show up. Wow.
It's big.
Yeah.
We all have this tremendous potential that we can live into. we don't always want to show up. We're not always comfortable showing up. We don't always want to be the star of the show.
Yes.
And I think we don't have to be the star of the show. We don't have to, be the one that's just out there, because there are plenty of opportunities for supporters too. But we have to step into that role as well.
Yeah. And so let's bring it all together here as we close out this morning. It's what's the one thing? Look at your relationships. Look at, are you a priority? Are you acting as a priority in somebody's life because you feel that you're a priority, that you need to be there, and they're thinking of you as an option? So you're pouring all your attention into those relationships at the expense of the ones that are really close to you, the people that are looking for you to be there for them, that need them, that need you, that they say, hey, I got this issue, or I got this thing that I'm thinking about, and I need your help. But be there, right? So look at as we're leaving this space of cooped upness, of reopening our lives back into the beyond, the new normal, which is a really terrible name for it. Because there's nothing normal about our lives. If we are growing, if we're evolving, if we're changing every day, but somebody around you is crying for help, take the moment, listen, be there, show up for them. You might have to give them some structure. You might have to pour into them to make them step forward initially. But if they really want it, if they really are looking for that help, and they're crying out for help, for getting out of that desperation to move forward, then it's upon you, it's upon Lisa, it's upon me, it's upon all of us together to leave no man behind, leave no person behind, to help each move forward in life as a team, as we are, one people.
It's a beautiful thought. I appreciate all of the thoughts that you've shared this morning, the time that we've gotten to spend together.
Yeah. Show number 16. Wow, we're moving. It's like I put these numbers down in my calendar of each of the shows, and I'm like, oh, 16 Fridays we've been together. That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Oh, here, Steve's put through something here for us. So that's great content sharing this morning. Good takeaways. Yeah, you should announce topic before, and I'll share it. All right. Yeah, we will do that. We'll try to find a way how we can get this continue to be announced earlier. We give it 12 hours, but it seems like Facebook is not quite getting it out there yet. So we'll figure out ways in advance to announce.
Well, we could probably be a little more specific too.
Yeah.
It's been general. So love the
Thanks,
tips
Stevie. Thanks for being here, Steve, with us. We appreciate it. With others that are popping in and being out there, those watching a replay, make sure you drop your replay tag out there if you're watching this on replay.
Yeah.
We want to weigh in, sit and say hi.
All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy maybe some of the great outdoors and time with your family and loved ones. As best as you can, right? So have a great...
Yeah, as Steve says, make it an awesome day. See ya.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, take care now.
Bye. Guys.